Imagine being so woke that you would create a space specifically for white people. And I'm not talking about the alt-right. I'm talking about woke. Far left, regressive left, social justice warriors, creating a program specifically for white students to talk about their feelings. You would imagine that if someone came to you and said, if someone said they wanted to create a space for white students, you'd be like, that's interesting. Are you a white rights activist or a white nationalist or a racist or a white supremacist? Like, do you veer into that direction? And yes, I think you can be a white identitarian and not be a white supremacist. But the point of this is, it's actually the left who's doing it because they've become so woke, they've gone full circle. University announces White Awake safe space for white students because white students apparently now need a safe space according to the left. And I gotta say, it really does feel like the left just wants to segregate everybody. How about that? The new group is now one of 4 in the university's Diversity Issues program series. The announcement has been met with wide criticism from students on social media. Yeah, gee, I can wonder why. So here's what they say. This is interesting. We'll read the update first, just so we know what's going on. After publication of this article, University of Maryland College Park changed the name of the group to Anti-Racism and Ally Bill. Okay, we'll come back to this. All right, check it out. White Awake. Do you sometimes feel uncomfortable and confused before, during, or after interactions with racial and ethnic minorities? Do you want to improve your ability to relate to and connect with people different from yourself? Do you want to become a better ally? This group offers a safe space for white students to explore their experiences, questions, reactions, and feelings. Members will support and share feedback with each other as they learn more about themselves and how they can fit into a diverse world. Thursdays, 10 a.m. Contact Dr. Noah Collins. Well, here's the original story. The University of Maryland at College announced Friday a new diversity support group to create a safe space for white students to discuss their feelings about interactions with racial and ethnic minorities. The support group, called White Awake, will help white students who may sometimes feel uncomfortable and confused before, during, or after interactions with racial and ethnic minorities. This group offers a safe space for white students to explore their experiences, questions, reactions. Did I just literally read that? The description asks students if they want to improve their ability to relate to and connect with people different from themselves. The group is being led by Noah Collins, who works for the UMD Counseling Center, and will be held once a week. Collins specializes in group therapy and is interested especially in the areas of racial and cultural awareness. According to his faculty bio, well, let's check out his faculty bio. Let's see, where's Dr. Noah Collins? Where are you at? Affiliate faculty. Noah Collins, University of Maryland. Oh, I'm gonna have to blur that out. It's got his private information on there. Well, no, that's public information, but I'm still gonna avoid showing it anyway. I won't blur it, but it is what it is. It's publicly available information on their website, but I just don't want to, put that on the screen and encourage any of that stuff. Suffice to say, the reason I pulled that up is because Mr. Noah Collins is a white man who created a white safe space. What do you think people said about that? Probably got very angry. The safe space has been met with harsh criticism from students on social media. I'm ashamed over the execution of White Awake, nor do I fully understand its clause. How they can fit into a diverse world? Why do they need to attend therapy sessions on how to be a decent human being in society? A UMD student wrote on Twitter. Why do they need to have these sessions to learn how to coexist? This is really fascinating. Just like classes, you can't take one class and feel like you have all understanding over a certain subject, the student added. It takes practice. It takes problems. It takes more than one course, so White Awake has good intention, but I'm skeptical over the fairy tale result. Right. The problem is, white people are going to get criticized for being, for white privilege, for intrinsic bias and all those things. And then when you literally create a space for them to learn how to be better allies, you criticize them for that too. Because the point is, within this social justice world, there is no right answer. There isn't, okay? Let me give you a few examples. There's sex-positive feminism and sex-negative feminism. But depending on who is criticizing what, you will have different people support or oppose the concept. Should women be allowed to be strippers? Well, sex-negative feminists say no, it is a demeaning position. But sex-positive feminists say it's liberating and women should be able to do whatever they want. However, if an external group, and I'm not saying this is of all feminists, but if an external group, non-feminist or men's rights or whatever, says something about stripping, all feminists tend to defend it because it's still a feminist issue, right? So the thing here is, you literally have a space for white people to go and talk about why, how to not be racist and things like that, but they're going to get attacked for it. I also think it's rather funny that a white guy created a white safe space, but that's basically, so let's read the update now. So after publication of the article, University of Maryland College Park changed the name of the group to Anti-Racism and Ally Building Group, along with a shorter description which reads, do you want to improve your ability to relate to and connect with people different from yourself? Do you want to become a better ally? Members will support and share feedback with each other as they learn more about themselves and how they can fit into a diverse world. Campus Reform reached out to UMD for a comment after the name of the group was changed, but has not heard back. Here we are in 2018, where a university, I believe, has become so woke that they've actually created a safe space just for white people. I've talked about how at Occupy Wall Street, they segregated everybody. They created caucuses for Asians, for Latinos, for black people, for women. They actually had two at Occupy Wall Street. The caucuses were like voting blocks, right? They had one that was for women and one that were for only female-bodied people, because they said, you basically had TERFs, trans exclusionary radical feminists, saying you can't have trans women in a women's group because they have male bodies and male privilege. But then the women's group said we are trans inclusive and trans people don't have male privilege, and it's all very confusing. There's a lot of internal problems within, various political factions. But I have to say, we've reached an amazing point where a white professor can create a white safe space, and it's considered, like a diversity issue thing. How about this? Let me propose something. How about we don't segregate anyone, and we all just, get along? But on top of that, I have to point out, just to bring it up again, the criticism. Oh well, here's the flyer for it. A group for white students to talk about race. Oh wow! And this is left. The group offers a safe space for white students to explore their experiences, questions, reactions, and feelings. Members will support and share feedback with each other as they learn more about themselves and how they can fit into their yada yada yada. So this criticism just shows you, and I seriously hope that everyone understands this. No matter what you do, if you want to be supportive, no matter what you do, you will be called out as being problematic. Look, there's transgressions against the religion of intersectionality. When Lacey Green decided to start talking with anti-social justice warriors to just try and figure out where they were, she was accused of being like a Nazi sympathizer. And then she ended up going on like NPR to talk about this. That's a transgression. That's like an actual sin against the religion. But this just shows that you've got this weird power struggle of people who, no matter what you do, will tell you you're wrong, even if you try to agree with them, right? Tariq Nasheed, for instance, was tweeting about something, and then someone roped me in, and I said, I actually agree, I think we can do a lot to end racism, and Tariq Nasheed said, you're a white supremacist. And I'm like, what? Like, dude, I just agreed with you. If your idea that I'm agreeing with is white supremacy, then like you're literally a white supremacist. Like you are, not me. Like, wait, what? Or we both are? Like, what are you talking about? The point is, this is what we see. But I read something interesting, and I had to talk about it a little bit the other day. There's a study, this pertains to the Evergreen story, to try and figure out why so many people are like this. Okay, listen, this person criticizing the program, why? What their criticism is that they said, why would they need to attend therapy sessions? Well, because most people continually tell white people that they have intrinsic bias and don't know what they're doing, don't know that they're racist. So yes, they would need that according to your own logic, but now you're criticizing them based on your own logic. And so what it sounds like here is that you've got a bunch of kids who want to exert power. They want authority, they want to be in control, and they don't all agree on what the principles are, and often the principles conflict, and often there aren't principles. And one of the theories was helicopter parenting. When parents are overly protective of their kids end up becoming entitled and angry and demanding. And then I thought about it, because I wasn't necessarily entitled. I grew up on the south side of Chicago. I was very much on my own, had to survive on my own, and I high school dropout. And all of these things were, in my life, I just learned how to survive. And I think when you realize that life is unfair and sometimes cruel, you kind of you learn that you can't always get what you want. You can't. But it seems like you have these kids who didn't have jobs. They still don't. They grow up, they go to school, their parents watch over their shoulder every 24/7. And then instead of getting a job, they go straight to school. What do you think is going to happen to a college student? What do you think is going to happen to a human being that spends 2 decades in an institutionalized learning facility, never taking care of themselves and having loans pay for everything? They're going to get out and say, why isn't everything the way I want it, like it was when I was in school most of my life? Why isn't everything the way I want it when my parents took care of me? And what do you think is going to happen when you have a helicopter parent protecting the child from literally everything, and then they encounter mean words? Those mean words are going to result in them being like, this is not safe. Yes, because they're so used to being in a protected helicopter parent bubble. It's an interesting idea. I don't know if it's true, but, it is what it is. For the most part, I just think we have a really funny story that we've gone so woke that they're actually creating white safe spaces. And apparently, that's not racist. It's anti-racist, I guess. Anyway, stick around. I may have one more video coming up in a few minutes.